In this video, we're going to discuss CRA models for integer division reasoning. So we're going to be doing division with negative numbers. Okay. And we're going to kind of move back and forth between the two different types of division. All right, so our negative 6 will always, or this first number, so negative 6 in this case, will always tell us what our starting amount is. Then our divisor, so in this case negative 2, again, that will always be the size of the groups that we're making or the number of groups that we're making. So different situations will be easier to conceptualize with different types of division. So, but what we'll start with is this, where we have two negative signs, so negative 6 divided by negative 2. So we have negative 6, we have 6 red counters, just those two color counters. So we have negative 6 shown. This one will be easiest to conceptualize if we think of that negative 2 as the size of each group. Okay. So if I have 6 red counters, negative 6, and I want to create groups that have a size of negative 2. I can make one group that has a size of negative 2, another group, and a third group. Okay, so there I have 3 groups that have a size of negative 2. So my quotient then is going to be 3. Right? I have 3 groups with that size of negative 2. Okay. So that's our concrete model. For our representational model, so if I'm at negative 6, right, I want to create groups that have a size of negative 2. Right, so this is negative 2, negative 4. All right, so that group is negative 2, that group has size of negative 2, and that group has size of negative 2. So I'm looking at how many groups do I have that have that size of negative 2. I have 1, 2, 3 groups, showing that my quotient there is 3. And then just on the top, that would be our abstract model, just the equation. So that's the first case. So for our second one here, we have negative 6, but now divided by a positive 2. So for this situation where that first number is negative and then our second one, the divisor is positive, it'll be easier to interpret this as the divisor is the number of groups, not the size of each group. Okay, so from this quantity of negative 6, I want to create 2 equal groups. One group over there, second group over there. Okay, so I've created 2 equal groups. What's the quantity? What's the size of each group? Each group has 3 red counters, or negative 3. So that's a concrete model. And then for our representational model, again, we can look at a number line. So again, at this total distance of negative 6, I might just draw each individual jump in there. So we have negative 6, we want to divide this into 2 equal groups. So again, essentially for this one, we can think of kind of splitting this down the half. Since we're just dividing by 2, so we're just dividing this into 2 equal parts. If we needed to, we could rearrange this on 2 separate number lines, giving one, jump to each number line as we go along. But here, then we're seeing that this total, right, this group has a size of negative 3. This group has also a size of negative 3. So I have 2 groups that have a size of negative 3. So that's why my quotient here is negative 3. And then that equation on the top will just be the abstract model. And our last type is going to be the trickiest to conceptualize. So we have 6 yellow counters divided by negative 2. Okay. So again, that negative 2 has to be the size of each group or the number of groups. Okay. So obviously, if we're looking at the number of groups, right, negative 2 groups is kind of strange to conceptualize. Groups with the size of negative 2 is a little tricky here too, since we don't have any negatives. Right. So I'm going to actually create groups with a size of 2, even though we're asking for negative 2. So if I create groups with a size of 2, right? So I've taken the 6, I have to keep that the same, taken that 6, and we've created 3 groups with a size of positive 2. So a group of positive 2 is the opposite of a group that has the size of negative 2. Right. So here I have 3 groups that have a size of 2. If I was trying to think of this as, well, these are the opposite of a group of negative 2, which is what I wanted to create. And what I've shown here is the opposite of 3 groups of negative 2. Okay, so the opposite of 3 groups, right, we can write that as negative 3. Okay, so this one's a little trickier. We don't want to flip these because then our model doesn't show 6 anymore. That positive 6 shows negative 6. Okay, but that's the concrete model here. So again, it's a little trickier thinking of the opposite of what we have shown. Okay, and then for a representational model, we'll do a number line. And then again, let's see here. I might just draw the tick marks in here. Okay, so we have a length of positive 6. And again, we're going to divide this into, we need to divide it into groups that have a size of negative 2. But we don't have any negatives here. So again, we're going to create groups that have a size of 2. And so here we have 1, 2, 3 groups that have a size of 2. We wanted the opposite size, right? We wanted negative 2. So this is actually showing the opposite of 3 groups with a size of negative 2. Okay, so that's why, again, our product would be negative 3. And then just on the top there is going to be that abstract model. So this is the trickier type to conceptualize. But again, the models for these common ones for the concrete will be the 2-color counters, and then number lines for representational, and then the equations for abstract.